I literally opened it. I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever.
It's so cute, isn't it? What's your favourite bit? What's your favourite bit?
I think the template. I really like the template. I thought you were just going to send me a pair of pants. And so then when it came through, I was like, yes, this is even better. Love it.
Oh, I'm so glad. So cool. Oh, so.
How are you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Super excited. I don't know if you've met before. Yeah, you do. You must know each other even before I knew the both of you.
Which ones? What, Amber and me?
Amber and you, yeah.
No, I've heard the name. But
yeah. I've heard the name, but I don't think we've properly.
It's just network, isn't it, within Leicester and all of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know Jay then? You know Jay Clark?
Yeah. We run the society together, so that's sort of how I know you briefly.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys did a good job of that because you guys like relaunched it after the year before you. It sort of dropped a bit.
And then no one wanted to pick it up, and he was doing his masters. I was going into third year, and we were like,
was this last year or was this?
Your second year?
Last year. I did it in second year, but then last year we dropped it, so which was a shame because it was literally the best thing.
Yeah, I see.
Is what it is.
It is. It will come back round again. Is the nature of it, it seems. Someone will pick it up somewhere.
I know. The teachers tried to get people to do it, but they didn't want to. Teachers were like, come on, guys, like, do it.
There's a lot of money there. There's pots of money there that can be used. I think we've had this conversation before. Because
Hey, Mira. Hello.
Hey, Mira.
Oh, my gosh, it's Mira.
Yeah.
You're right.
I'm good. How are you?
I probably failed to tell you that Mira is one of the participants.
It's like my crew. I'm so sorry I haven't got back to you about Australia, but you've been on my radar.
It's fine.
This is November.
Oh. Yeah, it's been manic as well, so it's cool. Don't worry. Whenever you get a chance.
Brilliant.
Are you gonna go to India at the end, Mira?
Yeah, my flight's still on and stuff, so
awesome.
I'm glad it is. I need to go. I need to get out of here.
Helen can make it.
Oh, this is Helen.
Oh, fantastic.
That's brilliant. Hi, Helen. I don't know if you can.
Hey, Helen.
Mira's. Hello. Hi.
I'm just eating something, so I'm just not going to put my video on.
That's all right. The first recording of this was me eating a crumpet, so you're all right.
I might mute for a second as well.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. So I think I've received an email from Adriana. She for now she lives now in Brazil, so the time is a little bit too early for her. She will join us at the workshop later on in the afternoon. And for now, I haven't received any other email, so I believe that it would be us for this session. But we can give a couple of more minutes if you'll agree. If you want, maybe just go and make a cup of coffee, cup of tea, if you don't have that already. Or we can just
chat.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys looked at the website yet?
All right.
Oh, good point. The website's in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at it a few weeks ago, actually.
There's more it's going to be changing all the time because it's sort of the bare bones, and then we're building on it as and when we can.
I kind of looked at it when Valeria had just put little drawings of what was going to be.
I know, wasn't
what was going to be there.
It's changed quite a bit from that point.
Oh yeah, it looks different.
Yeah. It's just so first of all, it's something that I've been doing. So there is no coding involved. It's just copy and paste. So I try to make it as accessible and easy to navigate as possible. But if you have some comments on that, just let us know, and we can amend it.
It's just one page, is that right? It just scrolls down.
Yeah, it's just one page, and there are external links to PDFs to be downloaded. Some, I think that the Knicker Kit pamphlet, it's a pop-up thing.
It is.
So you can see the images and download the file.
Yeah.
But yeah, we thought to have everything in one page so that it's just nothing more than that. And later we'll see how to construct the space for allowing the participants to contribute. So we were thinking just to receive the digital files or audio pieces or photographs, and then we create a similar thing as a pop-up. I still need to understand exactly how to make it, but yeah, we were thinking to use these the beehive structure onto which embed the various responses. And maybe each one can be dedicated to a single person, but all of this is to be decided later, depending on what do we have. So maybe I'll check another time the email. Let's see.
Have a look, there's a HTML5 thing that I did years ago for a client,
yeah.
where you can actually add modules onto, so you can actually, people can actually submit their own little image and it will go into a beehive structure.
Yeah, something like that would be excellent. I am learning these sort of things. So for now, for example, the beehive structure, I've made it on Photoshop. So every single image is actually cropped on the shape. But it would be fantastic to have sort of alternative page, automatic thing, so that people can place their own inputs automatically. Hello. There is Tom. No.
Hi.
Hey, hello.
Great.
So I think we can just
start.
No one has sent an email.
Shall I just briefly do my admin bit? So I'm simply here to support Valeria and Rhianne and the project. I'll just be observing the session and monitoring the chat. So if there's any kind of requests or contributions made or questions, I'll just be gathering them up and then sharing them with Valeria. I think Rhianne leaves in about half an hour. And I'm just helping to evaluate and help develop the project in ongoing basis, really. So I'm just here. I will switch my face off in a moment and I'll turn into a logo. So I'll just, be kind of silent witness, if you like. And I'll mute all the way through, unless anybody has, if Valeria wants me to directly contribute anything, or Rhianne wants me to directly contribute anything, I'll just be sort of silently in the background, if that's okay with everybody. And the session's being recorded, which Valeria is managing at her end. So I'll switch my face off now.
Bye, G.
Thank you, G. Thank you so much.
I'll still be here in spirit.
You will be there. Thank you very much. So yes, welcome officially to the first launch of Wombenhood. I'm Valeria, and Rhianne is also present today, which is amazing. And the group, it would be much bigger according to our list of participants, but some were unable to attend. So yeah, this is us today. And we were thinking to maybe give a little introduction so that we start knowing each other and start to, working as a little group. I can start. I mean, I'm Valeria. You all know me personally, some more than others. And I am studying a BA Fine Art course in Northampton University. And my dissertation and practice is developing around dialogical and conversation-based artworks and art practices. So Wombenhood is the actual first project that I have developed with Rhianne that is focusing on this methodology as an art practice. I think this is it for me. Rhianne?
Hello. My name's Rhianne. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I specialise in sort of the transformation of the object through performance and fluxus, with sort of like that conceptual background, mainly focusing around the 1960s and using the inspiration there. I'm also a bit of an entrepreneur as well, and I also I'm a founder of Bad Pancake, which is sort of a creative networking organisation that's sort of not picking up as much pace as this because I've put all my attention onto this now. But this is, co-founder of this with Val. So yeah, I welcome you all. I will be dipping in and out throughout these workshops, sadly, because I'm a key worker. So I have to go to work, sadly, and I can't get the shift swaps at the moment. So I'll only be here until 11:30 today, but I will be here for Monday's session as well. So have a wonderful day, guys. And I'm sorry I can't be here to be part of it with you guys. But if you have any questions or anything, then just email me via the Wombenhood email. So yeah, enjoy.
Maybe Amber?
Hi, I'm Amber. I'm a recent fine art graduate from DMU. I'm an artist who focuses predominantly on pinhole photography and making my own cameras, but I'm also a curation and events assistant at Modern Painters New Decorators, which is an art gallery in Loughborough. So yeah, and I know Valeria because we're both advocates of who is now Silent Ghost. But yeah, so that's me.
Brilliant. Maybe Helen?
Yeah, I'm Helen. Nice to meet you all. I'm an artist. I'm Manchester based, so I'm up in the northwest. I work predominantly, I'd say, with textiles. I'm sort of reluctant to say I'm a textiles artist because I work with many materials and digitally, but I'm interested in social practice and social history, and yeah, I'm currently doing a master's in Manchester in textile practice, so I'm kind of firming my textile identity a bit more. But I'm currently doing a project that is about it's really hard to explain actually in a small, concise way, but it involves witches, it involves politics, it involves history and local women in the area, and looking into the power play there, and that's how I came into contact with Valeria, who contributed to some work that we were doing for an exhibition that's kind of statically sat in a gallery at the minute with the doors closed. So that's a bit unfortunate, but hopefully hopefully soon those doors will open. But yeah.
Brilliant. And Mira?
I'm a documentary filmmaker. I travel to India a lot to make documentaries, mostly on kind of ostracized communities, but I'm really kind of interested in like cinema verite, sort of using that technique to get more of a kind of ethnosensory approach to my films. I'm also interested in experimental film and kind of experimenting in experimental cinema a bit more now, using like twin screens and projection mapping and sound and things. So just been kind of practicing at home, really, just with like got some kit and just trying out different visuals and stuff. And I'm going to India soon again to finish a project I'm working on. So mostly kind of film is my background. I'm also a lecturer at Coventry University and De Montfort University.
Shall I introduce myself as a human being as well?
Yes.
Not just a ghostly admin guy. GCR, I'm an independent arts curator, producer, mentor. Kind of work with everybody except for Helen in various ways. I remember sort of helping produce Mira's original documentary, Trans India, way back in the way, which we showcase at a festival. I sort of tend to work and support artists' work in general. Currently, as Amber mentioned, that's why I thought I'd pop up, UK New Artists City Ambassador for Leicester City Takeover, which is happening in February. And that's based on account of having worked with the local arts community in really integrated ways for many, many years. It'd be great to know a bit more about Helen's work later on as well, potentially. Is it the Monsters project that you were talking about? That is
banners, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll definitely shut up, apart from saying that I'm also a father and Mira's good friends with my daughter, and I was a secondary party at the original workshop that we had a couple of weeks ago.
Great. Thank you, Jean. Fantastic. So I was thinking maybe to navigate a little bit the website.
Yeah, sure. Can I just interject?
Absolutely.
Just quickly want to mention this is where the boring things come in. This is what I'm good at. The governance and things like that. So yeah, GDPR, just to let you know, this is recorded, as G said. Also, I've received all your consent forms and your GDPR forms and all of that. We've got all your requirements, everything like that on board. So we know you're okay with having your video shown, your audio, things like that. Just to remind you, this will be going public as well. It will be edited. If you do say any sensitive information and you don't want that to be made public, give us an email and we can edit that out for you at any time. At any time. Any information you want to be taken out, we can do. We will keep all of this for up to 3 years, just to let you know. And if it goes to funders and things like that, we'll let you know that as well. Because, of course, we do want this to eventually be funded. Woohoo! We get paid for it. Yeah. Oh, there was something else I wanted to say as well. Oh, my goodness, it's gone. All right.
Send me a message in case later on if you remember.
Yeah, sorry.
Right.
My head's just gone. Pop. But yeah. Okay, sorry, Val. Carry
on. So maybe I can share my screen. Let me just see, first of all, if my desktop is decent. Right. How to do that? Share it. So this morning session, we wanted to dedicate a little bit to understand how to navigate the platform, so that we are all comfortable in understanding. So this is the email. The email. Oh no, sorry. The website link is on the chat, so you will be able to access it from there. The background will appear at some point. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, there is a little intro of Wombenhood, and one thing that we've implemented with Rhianne was this open-ended space, which is an opportunity for us to, as Wombenhood and as art practitioner, to connect with audiences in a way similarly. I was thinking similarly as an open studio, or maybe an open gallery where the artist is present and you go and talk to the artist, something of that nature. So those sessions sometimes will be topic free, so people will just come and we can discuss what we've been doing so far, if there are people among the participant group, or I would really like to take that opportunity to talk with the audience about what is collaboration-based and dialogic practices, what are we doing in Wombenhood, and understanding if there is a need in society to continue this project and how. And also sometimes we could have topic-specific talks, like probably with Mira, we might be doing one on Monday, the 22nd of March. If it's going to be an open talk, that would be also with members of the public. Little welcome video. So in here, wait a
minute. Yeah. Can anyone else see the website here?
No, currently your inbox is showing.
Oh, wow.
Or your notes, sorry. Your notes are showing, not the website, Val.
Right. Can you see my desktop as it is now?
Nope.
You cannot.
Oh. No.
Okay, stop sharing. How about now?
Yes.
Yep, desktop.
Brilliant.
Valeria, it might be worth just having a little, maybe not, having a little chat window open. But anyway, I'll try and do my best to keep monitoring. I did send you a message.
I could do that, probably. No, I can't. Is this working now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant. So on the website in here, we will have the PDF of all the events. So to keep track of what's going to happen. And here you can find the DIY Knicker Kit pamphlet and the templates. There is a PDF to be downloaded, a bit of info about us and about the Knicker project. And then this structure here, we were thinking to maybe implement all the participants and collaborators' responses in this sort of structure. So it could be an exponentially growing platform or beehive structure into which maybe we can do a pop-up menu. For now, it's just a very static image. Below here, there will be all the talks and workshop recorded sessions that we will try to make available after maybe a couple of weeks from the actual happening, maybe even sooner than that. And probably we could implement participants' responses in these sort of side menus if something very important has happened, or maybe if it is a workshop, we can place participants' responses down here. And then for the open-ended space sessions, we will also record those and place them down below here. So this is all for now. I will stop sharing.
Is it all right if I do a tiny bit before I leave?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So if you do want to attend the open-ended session on Mondays, the ones that are open to the public, you guys are free to drop in when and as you want. If you know anyone that would like to join you, so you know people that could really benefit from that or would be interested, you need to get them to sort of fill in a request form, which is on the website, and it says, you know, submit your request there. That's just for GDPR so that we can get their email address and we can send them the details. Also, I just wanted to mention the terminology, if that's all right.
Yes.
Is that all right, Val? So people who, we've got like some terminology really to make sure that it's sort of a level playing field across. Wombenhood's open to all, regardless of sex, gender, race, disability, ethnicity. And so we wanted to use terminology that encouraged that. So if we're talking about people who experience directly the menstrual cycle, or have a womb, or have had a womb, or are going to experience the menstrual cycle, we call them menstruals. That's sort of like the best way that we say it. And then we've got two different parties that we focus on. You heard G mentioned it earlier. We've got the primary party and the secondary party. The primary party is mainly composed of menstruals, or people that are going through the menopause. They're sort of like the first group of people that are normally involved with the menstrual cycle. Then you've got the secondary party, which are those around those first people, normally male-bodied people, who also experience it, but experience it sort of on the outside as such, who we also welcome in this project as well. So that's how we'll refer to them. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome at any point. Any questions, regardless of how stupid they may sound, is good as well. We're all learning here. So let's keep it as open, as free as we can do. If you want to add any more terminology, or you're struggling with something, or you disagree with something, do let us know. And we're learning and we're evolving as well. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. And I think I'm going to have to go now because I have to go to work. So have a nice day. I look forward to listening and looking at the recording. And yeah, enjoy yourselves. Bye.
Yeah. See you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Fantastic. So I think that this is, one more thing I can say is that we're planning to create an Instagram page. This is still ongoing. We are populating our hard drive for now with posts and quotes to go populating this Instagram page. It would be very, very good to use even participants' responses. We're not going to be extremely active on Instagram because Rhianne and I, we feel that the participants' experience and the collaboration The dialogues are much more important than the Instagram page, but we will give it a dedicated time. So what else? Oh, about the knicker packs. I received your requests to receive it. Mira, I just seen your email today before we started, so I didn't scan through the GDPR to see if you wanted to have a knicker pack, but Amber has received it. Would you like to share it?
I honestly was so excited when I got it through the post. It literally made me so happy. So the first thing is this. It's like the little booklet that was on the website with the timeline and sort of the instructions of how you construct your own knicker, which was the template. And then what I thought was so lovely was all the different types of fabrics that kind of came with in the pack. Just lots and lots of goodness, really. Just makes me really excited to get creative. So yeah, thank you, Valeria.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you received it. It was sent literally a few days ago. Yeah, so that was a very exciting part of the workshop of the project to create. It was very, very intense labor because I've been making over 13 templates. We've been designing them, and mistakes were made, and yeah, so it has been a very, very long, intense process. But I think, Helen, you can quite relate to that. And actually, I like to say that I've taken inspiration from the Beasley banners. So just a little bit to let you understand what I'm talking about. Helen, as she said, she promoted a collaboration, active participation to her exhibition. So people were asked to embellish and embroider some banners that we received at home. So we received this beautiful package with the drawing of a beast, of a little monster, that we had then to embellish with some materials that were given in the package. And I thought that it was absolutely so thoughtful, and it's exciting to wait for this pack to arrive. It was very exciting to open. It was like a Christmas present, really. And I wanted to give this back as a practitioner.
I'm definitely excited to receive mine on that same level. And no, it's so exciting to get something through the post that then you can get started on.
Yeah. And in general, I've realized ever since the lockdown started, of course, organizations had to go online, and many organizations were organizing workshops and such. But the problem was that materials weren't provided, and we as users, as people, were asked to use our own materials, which for me was all right, but I think this could be very impairing for quite a number of people. So I thought, even if this is a self-funded project, I at least wanted to provide this material to start, not just the excitement, which is absolutely amazing, but I think it's a good practice as someone who is asking a group of people to put so much time into a collaborative project to provide at least the materials. So yeah, that was a very important thing that emerged since the beginning. I don't know, would you like to say something?
Could you tell us a bit more about the Knicker project, about like what you're wanting from it, like what it is, like what?
Absolutely, actually, that's quite important. So ever since around about April, May 2020, I started researching for my dissertation, and I wanted to understand how could I as an artist accept and change my way of working to this current pandemic situation. And I started researching collaborations into which be part of, such as yours, Helen. And in the months over the summer especially, I wanted to find a topic that it was important for not just me. I wanted to discuss about something that was universally relatable, not necessarily linked to gender or religions or culture. So something that was, understandable, and that many people lived in their life wherever they were placed in the world. So the theme of menstruality came around. It started as a joke, really, between Rhianne and I, saying on a day we both had our period, we were a little bit in pain, and we said, oh, maybe we should do something about this. And this is how literally the topic merged. The project of the DIY Knicker, it wants to be the first project through Wombenhood. So the topics discussed within Wombenhood are always going to be around menstruality. It could be about menstrual cycles, or particularly issues connected to the menstruations, the lack of it. And therefore we decided to address the first topic, being very quite general, to understand how to discuss about menstruation and the menstrual cycle. And we wanted to use some practical making processes as a vehicle to transport discussion. Therefore, we decided to choose the Knicker as the first sort of place where to embed responses, both to have something practical to do that brought the participants away from the screen, which is way too present in daily life now. So to have something practical to do and to refer to. And then the Knicker, it was sort of the item that gets stained, the item that signifies the beginning of the cycle. So it's got quite a relevance in that sense. Oh, there is a message. So yeah, this was the beginning of the Knicker project. The group of people participating have been responding to the September soft launch, as we call it. It was this very gentle post. Actually, I would really like to know, how did you, because you all responded to exactly that post, what did move you to respond?
I think for me, it was the idea of getting involved in a making session, really, outside of things that I do. As I do workshop facilitation, so I wanted to kind of be on the other side of it, really. Take a bit of time out for myself and get involved in something outside of the things that I've been doing. And it sounded like a kind of, I don't want to say fun, but like I do want to say fun as well, because it felt like it would be kind of a nice, creative, light take on something that can be like a really heavy subject, depending on your experience with your periods. In my life, it has been a bit of a heavy subject, and the people around me, it has been. So it just felt like a bit of a light approach to something. That could be quite meditative, but that doesn't have to be too intense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. One of the things that we wanted to do with Rhianne was exactly to implement, it's bizarre, right? It's not exactly fun, but some lighthearted, a sort of liberating, open-ended, relaxed environment where we can just gather to discuss this topic, because my intention as an artist and the intention as Wombenhood, it would be to bring some level of social change. It could be as little as being able to discuss this topic, which is heavily still embedded in this sort of taboo and shame. And then maybe if this goes in a very sort of global way or even very local, that could bring some change in, say, the work policy. So talking to many of the participants, one thing that emerged a lot was the fact that some of us had very heavy periods and we were taking medications to go to work, and we didn't feel to ask for a sick day, for example, because of menstruation being such a recurrent thing. And for me personally, is a monthly thing. First day, I completely have to relax and not work. So for now, it's fine, but I wonder how can this be implemented in the workplace, right? And communicability is also a very important point to sort of address, because I've been experiencing a high difficulty in communicate with my gynecologist, and problems related to menstruation that could be even just the pain, sometimes was referred to as a hormonal imbalance, while it is just a much more gentle sort of issue other than that. So yeah. Right, I think, I don't know, what would you like to do? We could either sort of close now and we have a longer lunch break. I'll give you a little introduction on the workshop, and then we can gather again around about 1. By that time, some others should be able to join us during the workshop section. So maybe I can give you an introduction on how the day will evolve. Oh, gee.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Could you explain the logo?
Right, okay.
I mean, I understand its visual structure, but why is it made of characters and what the characters represent? And yeah, that'd be interesting.
That's a really interesting question. So you can see just about here, there is an eye at the center that signifies both I as an individual and I as an information, we thought. And it's resembles a vulva, like labia minora, labia majora, and the asshole, to be said like that. But yeah, we decided to be quite graphic in a sort of using characters that are used in our language. So in a sense, it's quite interesting to being able to implement the element of dialogue into the project through the usage of written symbols that we use in our everyday typing. So yeah, this is it.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I read it as all of that. Funnily enough, when I did Daughter, I had brackets going the other way as well. Did Amber and Mira want to answer your previous question around what attracted them from the original post? Helen's answered.
Yeah, so I basically saw the post on Instagram, and I just so firstly I just want to try and kind of get involved in more kind of opportunities to meet like-minded artists, and we can work together and kind of collaborate and just make art to, like you said, create change, or just to kind of start a conversation, because this is a really kind of important topic and people talk about it but not that much. But personally, me and my sister always talk about this, but obviously I'm Indian, and growing up in an Indian household, when you do come on your period, you cannot go near the temple, you can't touch it, we have to wash our hair on the 3rd day, otherwise it's just one of those things, we have to do it. And we were talking about it actually ever since I saw your post, and we were just we just do it, we don't actually question why, it's so we're socially conditioned to do it, and it seems as kind of unclean, and we've kind of accepted that just as growing up. And it's only now we're just actually we don't know why. And when we do ask our families or parents or grandma, then it's just something either related to religion or because it's a tradition that's been going on for so long. And so now I feel like I don't I don't understand it, so why should I do it? So it's kind of more a kind of personal kind of experience of going against that. And I've been trying it. My mum's not here actually, so I have been going near the temple and I haven't been following the rules, and I feel weird, you know. So I think it's more like a journey myself, but kind of also maybe I feel like there's other people sort of similar to me who probably have experienced something in the same way. So it's now questioning it, discussing it, finding an answer why, you know, is it justified? Is it, what is the evidence? What do the scriptures say? Is it religious? Those kinds of things. And then we're going to be doing some research around that too. So yeah, that's kind of, me.
Mira, I have some texts about that. So I've got the Manusmriti, which is one of the kind of like core texts around social structures and things like that. Obviously written by a man from a male perspective, but it does have some really interesting insights. And it's a really beautiful book by Wendy Donna O'Flaherty called Mythical Beasts. Helen might be familiar with it. I think it's called Women, Monsters and Mythical Beasts, which does refer to different cultures and why menstruation and other kind of womanly things are complex. So you're more than welcome to borrow those.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Could you put that in the chat? The
book?
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. We're going to get it while you're...
I've actually I actually wrote this exact note. Yeah, the topic of religion and menstruation. This is very quite particular because it's not only India or Hindu religions that have this sort of taboo and partition sort of from the menstruals and non-menstruals. It's also Ibrahism that has got it. So people cannot be touched. Things are quite similar. There is no touching policy. It's not about anything about having sex during the period, but it's truly physical touch of the person that has got the menstruation in this moment as deemed as impure. Yeah, so this is something.
I think there's a lot of things that are related. Now, this is like really sort of second, third hand information, but I think that there are things that are linked to fertility as well. So some of the practices that might seem a little odd or like obscure relate back to like fertility practices to make you the most fertile at certain points, or maybe myths around that as well. So I think a lot of things, I don't want to say because I know it's recorded and I don't want to be misquoted, but I think it's particularly somebody was saying about in the Jewish faith that there's an abstinence, and then for a number of days after your period, and then you must have sex on that day, and that's like your peak fertility. So I know that there are a lot of things that are kind of religious things that fit into that as well. But yeah. And I think it is all religions. I think whether people practice them still now or not, I think the basis of, again, I'm talking from like, this is, you might have to get used to me just saying, I think I read something somewhere that maybe I dreamt, but but I seem to think that Christian-based religions as well have historically had those practices.
There is some resemblance. My family has got a Catholic background. I've asked my grandmother exactly about these sort of topics. She cannot remember anything related to menstruation, but I have negative related to menstruation. But her family, and they've always been matriarchals. So the presence of women in our family has been absolutely like ongoing. So probably this is due to that factor. But I've heard that there is some similarity in Christianity as well. Amber, do you want to say something?
Yeah, so the reason why I wanted to join this group was, well, I suppose obviously my degree got cut short because of COVID, and since March I don't think I've made one piece of work. I've really found the motivation sort of declined quite a lot, and also sort of my accessibility to like a workshop or a space. Really, I'm currently living in like the tiniest bedroom with me and my boyfriend sharing, and it's just not enough for me to be able to feel creative. So I kind of thought that having this prompt would be quite a positive thing, and that will sort of get me going and get my inspiration flowing. But also, like everyone, I've had my fair share of weird experiences with my period. One of them being that I've been on the pill since I was 15. So really, really young, like pretty young. And I actually started my period when I was 11, so I was really early. And I actually decided to come off the pill over a year ago to see if it would improve like my mental health. And I found out because of that I actually have something called PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome. And the pill was basically was hiding all of the symptoms of that. So once I came off the pill, my body sort of has completely changed from what I've been used to for the last 7 years. And sort of having to deal with this idea like, can I get pregnant? I'm not sure. You know, like my body's gaining weight, I'm getting more spots, like all these sort of things. And the pain that I experience when my egg is released from my ovary is like not something I've ever been used to. And then I was going for tests and getting things sorted, and then COVID hit, and I haven't been able to have any of that checked out because obviously all the doctor's appointments have kind of been wiped. So I'm kind of in the process of waiting to see a gynecologist to get this issue sort of resolved. I've tried to go back on the pill to reduce the symptoms, but the doctors aren't allowing me to. So it's sort of having to come to terms with that, and sort of like, yeah, just dealing with PCOS, dealing with this idea of like pregnancy, and it's all been quite a emotional time. But yeah, it's an experience. So I thought it would be great to have a group that I can share that with, and also potentially get advice from others who may be in a similar situation. But yeah.
Yeah, you see, this probably because I've started looking into menstruality and menstrual cycles quite actively. I've experienced something quite painful over the summer. On the 1st of August, I cannot forget that day. So my periods have always been quite painful, and very regular in their pain patterns. So I usually have migraines a few days before. On the day of the cycle of the menstruation, I've got cramps quite impairing, and then it decays. And sometimes around about the 14th day, I've got, again, migraine. And on the 1st of August, I had the strongest pain, cramps I've ever had. And it wasn't just that, it was shivering. It was loss of time. I was not really hallucinating, but the pain was obfuscating my mind. And I felt as if I was giving birth, something like that. The pain was quite regular. It was horrific. So I sought medical advice. I couldn't go to the GP because the first appointment was not before November. So I had to choose, and I was lucky enough to have some money to go to the private. And the doctor said that it was either one of the two things. It could have been endometriosis, which caused very sharp pains, or it could be a hormonal imbalance. So we did loads of tests. We did like a scan and nothing showed up. So the endometriosis didn't show up from there. So it was a good news. But then this doctor was, okay, now we have just to do hormonal treatment. And I was always very against that because it's not like my pattern is extremely regular. I've been on the pill for years, and now after maybe 6 years, I'm not on the pill anymore. And I do use a program, an app that take my basal temperature with the thermometer every day. And it kind of calculate an algorithm and show me my own patterns. And I record everything to do with health in this app. So I've got everything like a clock. And it was weird. I don't have hormonal imbalance. I know I don't have it. It was that one thing that scared me. So I sought homeopathic treatment, homeopathic advice, because I think alternative medicine can really help. And that my homeopathist has said it could be one of the two things. Either you might have had extrauterine pregnancy, so some that happen outside of the uterus, or the explosion of a follicle. I know that the first one is unlikely, so I think it was the explosion of a follicle, and now we are treating this through homeopathy to calm the general dysmenorrhea, that is the pain. So it's nothing wrong with me, but the only support that was given by the normal medicine, the Eastern European one, was hormonal treatment, like all in a whack.
I will say that, Valeria, endometriosis won't show up on a scan. The only way to diagnose it is surgery. It's like a laparoscopy. So just as a little bit of advice, it's not something that will come up on a scan, which is why it's hard to diagnose, because people, you know, to do that you have to go under general anaesthetic, and that's what is not always the first. It's not an easy diagnosis, but Amber, like, I really feel for you being in this position. I think it's so hard when you're trying to have like diagnostic things happen, or like any kind of treatment when everything's paused. I think it's hard enough when you've gone through these things and you're just waiting for a new appointment. That can be hard enough, but being on pause, and those kind of diagnoses, like they're big life changes, aren't they?
Massive. It was sort of like I just went to a GP for a catch up, and she went, yeah, it looks like you've got PCOS, but don't worry, like, you'll speak to a gynecologist and they'll sort it out. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And she was like, well, you know, it could mean a number of things, one of them being that you might not be fertile, and like you might struggle with your fertility. And she just said it so casually, and I was kind of like, no, back up a sec. Like, I can't have a 5-minute conversation with you where you're telling me that I've just been diagnosed with this thing and you're not giving me any more information. And I said, well, what else can you tell me? And she just said, we'll book you in with a gynecologist and they'll explain the rest. And then obviously that didn't happen. So it kind of had to be not like self-diagnosis, but I had to kind of go to Instagram sites to try and find like PCOS awareness and all of those sort of things that I didn't think I'd have to consider.
To be honest, it's not a bad thing to sort of inform yourself of things, because I think sometimes you can get that kind of that like maybe detached way of being spoken to sometimes by medical professionals. I've had some amazing consultants and then some like awful ones that have like broken me. And I think that's the thing, like, we live in the bodies and these are things that are happening all the time to us. So it's not like, oh well, we've all got a body and we've broken a leg and, you know, that happens, you know, get over it. It's like these are cyclical things, so you're reminded of those things throughout your whole, it's not even just at your period, there's so many markers throughout your month that you're reminded of things all the time. So it's not something you can, and like you say, there's big implications for these conditions. But I mean, the amazing thing is you're 22. Are you 22? I kind of did
I am, yeah.
But that's amazing too. A diagnosis like at 22 is brilliant.
Yeah, I'm very happy that I sort of had it now. Definitely. And that's why maybe I'm not pushing to go private or anything like that. I'm just like, okay, let's let this ride out, because there are more important things going on. And like Valeria, I am recording every month, and sort of whenever the pain hits, like, I record it, and it always seems to be around the time of my ovulation, which makes me think like, yeah, this is definitely what it is.
I think it's really important to do that, just to know yourself as well. Like I've got endometriosis, so like I got diagnosed about 7 years ago, something like that. But I had a really similar thing where I'd been on the pill from being very young, being about 15, and then came off and started to get symptoms, but I just wasn't listened to for a long time. And I think I was just happy to hear somebody go, no, it's fine, it's just bad periods. And just feel like, great, because my sister had endometriosis and I'd seen her go through fertility problems. So I was like, I don't really want to face this. So I got that diagnosis, and in some ways it was great to sort of know. I think something is really important to know about your body, but I think like being able to plot your specific symptoms, and when they happen you can kind of see when things are out of kilter for you as well, or when things improve for you, so you can kind of plot it a little bit better.
I think that's one of the things that I found quite scary about mainly the whole process, was how, you know, like you said, being on the pill from so young, how this, you know, contraceptive pill, it's sort of given to us very easily by doctors, and yet there is no sort of warning that comes with it, that this can, you know, reduce symptoms that you might not even know you have. And for a lot of women, you know, they'll come off the pill to get pregnant, so they won't come off the pill until they're ready. And at that point, when the symptoms hit, it could be too late for some women. And I think that's a really scary thing that should be addressed, and should, you know, I think every woman should have a time where, like, lucky enough for me, I came off it for other reasons, not for the reason to get pregnant, but God forbid if I had, then that would have been quite a scary situation for me, and I'd have been like, take my eggs, freeze them, I don't care, like, let's sort something out, because it would have been a really scary time. So I do really feel for those women who...
I totally agree with you, and I think that is the fact that the pill is used as a treatment. I think you're right, just to educate people as to like what this can do and what this can be, because I came off the pill at a point when I just didn't want to be on it anymore. Like, that was my decision. And yet it revealed all these things. And when I did ask the doctor for help with my symptoms, his idea was for me to go back on the pill. And I was like, that's been the problem. Like, that's masked things all along. Like, you're just masking it again.
Exactly.
And he didn't see it as that. He just saw it as a solution to the problem. So I think, the idea that it's used as a treatment is a little bit misguided.
Yeah, one of the things the doctor said to me with the PCOS was, the only thing you can do is lose weight. And then she sort of looked at me and was like, you don't really need to lose weight. So, and I was like, well, thanks. Thank you for that. You know, I'm only like 8 stone, 9 stone. Like, I don't think I need to lose weight. So have you got any other advice? And that was it. So it's, I feel like sometimes they just kind of give you the easiest option maybe for them, but not necessarily for you. So I
think it's indicative of like how the GPs are under pressure, how like the NHS and the pressures that the NHS are under, and how women end up suffering a lot of the time from that, and probably not the only group of people that suffer.
Absolutely,
but definitely, and more so for that, like BAME people, like within that, it's, you know, the inequalities are even worse there. So
of course.
I'd like to say that it's almost 12, like minutes to 12. I think that this platform is exactly useful to talk about menstruality in the way we are, because it's not easy to discuss these topics in general. So me personally, think this is one of the most important aspects of Wombenhood, and this conversation, dialogue, and exchange of information and personal experiences that could maybe support even others. I would suggest maybe we can go on the lunch break now and gather again in 1. And then from there, we can start the workshop. I think you all received the PDF, right, in the email of the workshop schedule? Or shall I send it again?
Can I just say, I'm not going to be able to make it now. I'm going to have to go to work, but I look forward to seeing what happens in the workshop afterwards.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, yeah, it will be available on the website in a few days.
Yeah.
G, you're here.
Wonderful. That was just so beautiful to witness. Thank you, everybody. I have put the 2 links up, one to Wendy O'Flaherty's book and one to menstruality. And more than happy to contribute any conversations that kind of spin off that later. But yeah, because Helen's leaving now, I just thought, just express my gratitude. But it's been, really beautiful to witness and wonderful platform.
Yeah, nice to meet you all. And
Thank you.
hope to see you soon.
Much for this sharing. And Helen, I'm sure we will see you in future workshops and sessions.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So, we'll use the same links to regain on this platform, and have a lovely lunch. I'm actually famished. So brilliant.
See you later.
See you in a bit, folks. Bye.